At 91, Shirley Jones finally tells the truth about Burt Lancaster. Shirley Jones was born Shirley Mae Jones on March 31, 1934, in Charleroi, Pennsylvania. She grew up in nearby Smithton, a small town that was nothing like the fancy Hollywood world she would later become part of. From when she was little, her parents could tell she had an amazing singing voice, and they made sure she took voice lessons. This early music training helped build the foundation for a career that would make her one of the most famous performers of her time. Jones got her big break when she was discovered by the legendary team of Rodgers and Hammerstein, who fell in love with her crystal-clear soprano voice and sweet, innocent look. They signed her to a personal contract, making her the only singer ever to get such an honor from the famous duo. This led to her first movie role in Oklahoma in 1955, where she played the sweet farm girl Laurie Williams. The movie version of the Broadway hit was loved by critics and audiences, and Shirley instantly became a household name. Her performance showed a mix of innocence and strength that audiences loved, and it started a series of musical movie successes. After Oklahoma, Jones became known as Hollywood, his favorite sweet girl, with memorable roles in Carousel in 1956, where she starred with Gordon MacRae, and The Music Man in 1962, where she played librarian Marion Peru, opposite Robert Preston. Both movies showed not only her singing talent, but also her skill at playing women who were both tender-hearted and strong-willed. Her role in The Music Man became iconic because it mixed comedy, romance, and song in a way that perfectly showed off her natural charm. However, Shirley Jones didn't want to keep being typecast as the sweet, wholesome good girl. In 1960, she took on a daring role in Elmer Gantry opposite Burt Lancaster, playing Lulu Baines, a fallen woman whose life was ruined by a con-man preacher. Jones shocked audiences with how deep and complex her acting was. The role won her the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, proving she could handle tough dramatic roles and breaking away from a good girl image. This Oscar-winning performance stands as one of the greatest wins of her career, forever changing how audiences saw her talents. In the 1970s, Shirley entered a new phase of stardom that made her popular with a completely different audience. She starred as Shirley Partridge, the widowed mother of 5 musical children in the beloved TV series, The Partridge Family, from 1970 to 1974. The show wasn't just a huge hit, but also became a cultural phenomenon with millions of viewers watching every week too. See The Adventures of the Singing Partridge Family. Shirley played the mum with warmth, humor, and quiet strength, balancing comedy and music while keeping the series grounded in motherly love. The show introduced her to a new generation of fans and made her reputation as one of TV's most lovable mothers even stronger. In 1975, Shirley Jones took a bold step away from the wholesome, family-friendly image that had defined most of her career by starring in the made-for-TV drama Winner Take All. In this intense and emotionally heavy role, Jones played a compulsive gambler whose destructive addiction tears her life apart. Far from the sunny characters audiences were used to seeing her play, Jones gave a haunting performance as a woman who not only puts her marriage at risk by secretly stealing money from her unsuspecting husband, but also crosses an even more shocking line by betraying him further by having an affair with her own bookie. For fans who had loved her as the sweet Marion in The Music Man or the loving mum in The Partridge Family, this daring role was both startling and fascinating, proving that Jones wasn't afraid to take on darker, more challenging material that showed the full range of her acting abilities. By 1979, Jones made another noteworthy career move when she returned to TV in a starring role, headlining the NBC sitcom Shirley. The show, which was clearly designed to copy the success of The Partridge Family, featured her once again as a widowed mother raising her children while dealing with life's daily challenges. Although the concept seemed familiar, Shirley tried to be more realistic and heartfelt, focusing less on music and more on the dynamics of a family sticking together without a father. Despite Jones's obvious charm and strong performance, the series struggled to find an audience in a crowded TV landscape. Halfway through its first season, ratings were disappointing, and NBC made the difficult decision to cancel the show. While Shirley never achieved the lasting cultural impact of The Partridge Family, it still stands as an interesting chapter in Jones's TV career, an attempt to blend her motherly warmth with a new type of storytelling. Jones continued to surprise audiences with her versatility well into the 1990s. She delighted fans with a comedic role on The Drew Carey Show, where she played the older woman, girlfriend of Drew's character. Her appearances brought a playful, tongue-in-cheek energy to the sitcom, showing that she could make fun of her own image while embracing a more modern style of humor. Then, in a nostalgic nod to the role that had made her a TV icon, she brought back Shirley Partridge in a light-hearted cameo on That 70s Show in 2000, a moment that thrilled longtime fans who had grown up watching her lead the musical adventures of the Partridge Family decades earlier. Yet, Jones's career wasn't only about comedy or nostalgia. She also proved time and again that she had the dramatic skills to tackle deeply emotional material. One of her most praised performances came in the TV movie There Were Times, Dear, where she played a devoted wife dealing with the heartbreaking decline of her husband, who was suffering from Alzheimer's disease. In a role requiring both quiet strength and devastating vulnerability, Jones brought raw honesty and emotional depth to the screen, leaving audiences deeply moved. Her performance was so powerful that it earned her an Emmy Award nomination, recognition that proved her ability to go beyond typecasting and deliver work of remarkable power and emotion. On August 5, 1956, Shirley Jones married actor and singer Jack Cassidy, a union that brought together two talented and charismatic figures of stage and screen. Cassidy, already making a name for himself as a Broadway star and rising TV personality, was as charming as he was complex. Jones, at just 22 years old, was about to become one of Hollywood's most beloved leading ladies, known for her beautiful voice and wholesome beauty. Their marriage seemed at first to be a glamorous Hollywood love story filled with promise, creativity, and mutual admiration. Together they built a family, having 3 sons, Sean, Patrick, and Ryan Cassidy, each of whom would go on to pursue careers in the entertainment industry. Following in the artistic footsteps of their parents, Jones also became stepmother to David Cassidy, Jack's son from his previous marriage to actress Evelyn Ward. David would later become famous worldwide as a teen idol on The Partridge Family, starring alongside Shirley. Their blended family, while blessed with talent and opportunity, was also marked by the tensions, challenges, and intense personalities that often come with show business and complicated marriages. Eventually, Jones and Cassidy's marriage fell apart, and after nearly 2 decades together, they divorced in 1975, though legally separated. Their bond would remain emotionally powerful for Jones, shaping her personal life for decades to come. After the difficult end of her marriage to Cassidy, Shirley found love again in a relationship that surprised many. On November 13, 1977, she married actor and comedian Marty Ingalls, a man whose zany sense of humor and quirky personality was very different from her poised and elegant style. Their marriage was, by all accounts, unconventional, and Ingalls himself often described it as an odd couple relationship. The two even wrote an autobiography together titled Shirley and Marty, an unlikely love story, which told their ups and downs with honesty and humor. Their partnership was marked by moments of trouble, including separations and getting back together. In 2002, Jones even filed for divorce, but later took back the petition, showing the deep, if sometimes frustrating, bond they shared. Despite the challenges, the marriage lasted for nearly 4 decades, held together by their commitment to one another and Ingalls' persistent devotion to his wife. When Marty passed away on October 21, 2015, from a massive stroke, Jones was devastated. Looking back on their life together, she openly admitted that, though her husband often drove her crazy with his antics and unpredictability, her love for him never wavered. She sadly said, "There's not a day I won't miss him and love him to my core," revealing the depth of their lasting love despite their differences. Yet, the shadow of her first great love, Jack Cassidy, never fully left her. On the evening of December 11, 1976, Shirley Jones experienced a haunting and tragic moment, only months after rejecting Jack's offer to get back together, an offer that hinted at his lingering love for her. She was told that his penthouse apartment had caught fire. The fire, it was later determined, had been caused by a cigarette Jack had lit before falling asleep on the couch. By the following morning, firefighters found his body in the wreckage, and news of his death shocked Jones to her core. For her, the tragedy wasn't just the loss of her former husband, but the loss of a man who, despite their stormy relationship, remained the most important influence in her life. In a 1983 newspaper interview, Jones confessed with raw honesty that Cassidy had wanted to return to her until the very day he died, and that in her heart she too had wanted the same thing. That's Th.